One could say that we have a first generation of thinkers who are dealing with the virtuality of space, but it's clear that the second step is needed, with the difference between the two generations of thinkers is that the first one was observing that direction, as you indicate, the possible enlargement of space through virtual means. The second generation is making it, basically. And by making it itself, it reveals even much more than you suggested in your question. We only can do one piece of that endless possibilities of this virtuality, namely the issue of planning. And already there, lots of, say, softwares and devices are going to be combined with an elaborate, an enormous amount of data banks that are merging. In a way, one could say that Google Earth is a very primitive starting point for something which can turn into a giant, say, planning and negotiation environment where decisions will be taken more than at the moment, say, in the building of Parliament. So one that has an effect on our cities. Because at the moment, that's what we try to suggest in planning, at the moment that you conceive that planning is taken through our computers and that lobby groups as well as individuals can participate through the web, through the internet in planning processes, then you have suddenly a complete other perception of the city or a perception of the democracy of the city. It can turn possibly in a very democratic potential as such. That affects immediately what we or what people want to have as their city. You see almost a voting system appearing. You see a comparative analysis appearing. What is better? Is Barcelona better in certain behavior than Madrid? Yes or not? You can talk about it. You can show escapes. You can discuss it clearly. And last but not least, it has an effect on architecture. Because if architecture becomes, say, more negotiable, more democratic, and directly linked with CAD programs, then architecture changes. It's not only an issue about artisticity, but it's as well about communication. It is very direct. It is very, say, buildable and makeable. And it transforms the role of the architect from a kind of, say, mythical artistic figure into a service operator. And that's intriguing potential. Some people say it's dangerous for the architecture because where is beauty? Ah, good question. What is beauty? Some people define it as the new banality. It can be fantastic, beautiful, because it's raw and outstanding. You can even create outstandingness in computer programs currently. You can simulate the formulation of alternatives in computer programs. So there's a world to explore, and if we deny it, then I think the profession will be taken over by others. So I think that the neglect that the profession of architects are dealing with is by hiding themselves in the spaces of art and, say, classical issues of form and light, that makes them, it seems that they behave like ostriches in a way. They put their head in the soil, neglecting that appearing, emerging world. And so this book, a part of it, is an attempt to explore this new domain and suggest possible, say, software in this case, to have a very, say, applicable and more or less transparent construction of that endless space. Because it's clear, you cannot say, as the first generation of thinkers about virtuality was saying, this is only an endless space. After that, you have to construct it. You have to master it again. We are beyond the matrix at the moment. And that's what this book tries to say, not only to achieve, but to ask to our coming generation, how can we do that with our new technologies, with our new political and social situations? Can we turn it into an active space again? Can it become the ultimate democratic and public realm? Is that what the architecture is about, isn't it? The fourth dimension is time. Virtuality, the fifth even. So and already, well, in mathematics are much more advanced and talk about endless dimensions as such as you clearly know. Up till now, maybe the virtual world is basically dealing with time and therefore can be considered as the fourth dimension, but it touches already glimpses of a next jump, theoretically. So the momentum that's artificial intelligence, AI, in combination with this, for instance, these Darwinistic models, then time implodes. That sounds abstract, but what I mean is that in 1 second, you can talk about endlessness in time. So that's almost the construction of the black hole. It seems that at that moment that the definition that say in 1 second you can talk about endlessness, we explore probably frontiers and therefore a next dimension, the fifth one. I don't know exactly what it will be, but philosophically that's the approach of this, after this book, the evolutionary system.
KM3 is the story about a world that is densifying. KM3 is a city that is continuously under construction with space for limitless populations and possibilities. A city that continues to serve all desires, that enlarges our capacities. Beyond scarcity. Beyond separation. Beyond pessimism and protectionism. A city that will lead to a new programmatic spin around the globe, swelling beyond the horizontal, surging vertically. The 3D city. A free fall in endless space. Pure depth without escape. Yet, KM3 is a hypothesis, a theoretical city, and a possible urban theory.
Ultimately, I think it's again less is more, to be honest. That's the beauty of that sentence, is that it wants to summarize. It wants to bring things into concise knowledge again. I think that slogan of Mies van der Rohe has been misused too much by our colleagues in Switzerland, of minimalist architecture, basically. I think the power of, therefore, of Mies van der Rohe when he made that column, and said less is more, is that a lot of knowledge came together in this one element. So in the same way that I describe now, how, for instance, this Darwinistic process will lead to the exploration of the second, maybe in that second you have to make decisions, which is about tremendous organization, then again we approach that definition of less is more.